Well, Space Coast Daily is here today at the wonderful Parish Medical Center in Titusville. We're here with the heroes of Hannah's Heroes. Liz Mkhitaryan, this is a wonderful organization. Tell us about Hannah's Heroes and how it first got started.
Well, we unfortunately here in Titusville lost a dear student in this past January who died by suicide. And as an educator, of course, that piqued my interest to find out what had happened and what went on. And when I ever found out that it was a child that my son had been in preschool with and that I had worked with her mom, then I was, of course, devastated, as the whole community was. So as we paid our memorial to Hannah, I met up with Lynn, Hannah's mom, and we both said kind of simultaneously, we have to do something about this. We have kids that are suffering, and we've gotten tremendous support from the community, and people are very thankful that we are finally opening the door about mental health. It's something kind of a taboo subject, and until we get it on the front burner and we address it, we will have pretty devastating things happen in society as a whole.
Now, Lynn, obviously out of tragedy comes something wonderful.
Exactly.
And, great credit to you and your family
Thank you.
for taking this step forward. Tell us about Hannah's Heroes from your viewpoint and the things that you hope to achieve.
Well, of course, it was devastating. Hannah was the light of our family. And just within days of her death, we were just speaking within our family, we can't let her be a statistic. Because she was not a typical person that you would think that would commit suicide. She was captain of the cheerleading team, talented in gymnastics and singing and dance, and she was just very involved in life. She had many, many friends. We just didn't know that she was suffering, and until it was just too late. And I couldn't let that just be the end. And Liz approached me, and we knew we had to do something. Hannah's death, we feel, has brought light, has kind of unmasked the suffering that our kids are going through in this area. We have been in touch with over 20 families since her death that, they have children that are suffering either with depression, suicidal thoughts, maybe have even attempted severe bullying issues at school. And so we just want to be Hannah's voice. Our motto is one more day, and we tell the kids, your life is worth living, just give it one more day. Of course, we wish Hannah would have given us one more day and just let us know that she was suffering so much.
Dr. Joseph, obviously you've seen the tragedy here, and what sort of things can people, where can they go to get help in this community? How can they seek out advice and counseling?
Sure. Good question. We, as Liz had mentioned earlier, this is a community that has a dire need for more mental health support. And it's not unlike many communities across the country. Mental health providers are in need. We are in the process at Parish Medical Center of trying to build that infrastructure for a mental health network to be in place. Where things stand right now, we have Circles of Care, which is an organization throughout Brevard County that can provide counseling to children and teenagers. They do have a child psychiatrist on staff as well. In addition, there's a handful of child psychiatrists in Melbourne and plenty in Orlando. So that's really at the current state where the mental health infrastructure or formal mental health infrastructure is. And so through working with organizations like Hannah's Heroes, a grassroots, community-driven organization.
What sort of a message do you have for any families out there, for any people that will be watching this short film about your experience and advice that you might have?
Wow, don't ever think it's not going to be your child, because I certainly thought that. Hannah was so grounded. We were a very close family. I was that mom that snuggled with her at night, talk about her day, and knew everything about her. the fact that she was struggling with depression, it was something that she hid. And depression in teens mimics the normal hormones that kids go through. And so that's what I thought she was, really dealing with. So parents just really need to be involved in their kids' lives.
So Liz, are there any other factors that parents should be particularly aware of?
Well, in this day and age of technology, social networking and all of the technological advances and internet access that our kids have, we think that our kids will make the right choices, will have the filters that they need to filter out some of the negativity that will come across online. In our dear Hannah's case, she was in a place where she was very involved in some dark things on the internet. And these influences, sometimes parents don't know. We all often said when we were kids, our moms would have to hold our hand as we walked across the street. But now the danger and the boogeyman is right in our homes. It's right in our kids' bedrooms. So their internet access and activity is something that parents really have to step up on. And it's a hard task to do. And the internet is not necessarily a user-friendly place for our youngsters, and we have to help them to navigate it. So, we want to expose the underground network, it's called. It's sometimes called the dark web. And there are many things going on. We're working with our local police department to get more information filtered out into the community. All kinds of websites that our kids are having access to that are very negative for them, and they just don't know how to handle it.
Epidemiological studies have been done throughout the world looking at high school students. And in any given year, 20% of them may have suicidal thoughts at a point in time. And different studies have looked at the caregivers' perceptions of whether their teen has suicidal thoughts. And what they found is a lot of times the caregivers are unaware of such occurrences. So the moral of the story is parents really need to ask. And if they suspect that their child is emotionally disturbed, ask directly if they're having suicidal thoughts.
Well, Liz, what resources can people use? What can they do if they need help right away?
Well, if they feel that their children are in imminent danger, of course they should call local authorities. They would be the most quick in response time. But we are recommending that anyone contact Brevard 211. That's just dialing 211. And they have actually an online service that's available where someone's always on that line that will actually talk about suicide and suicide prevention. So that's a local helping component that we have available to our folks. In addition to that, we want people to watch for a wonderful program that's called Sources of Strength that will be coming into our schools.
Tell us about your event on Friday, September the 11th.
Well, we're very excited about it. We actually have a 2-day event, but I'll start with Friday, the 11th. We are bringing in nationally known singer Danny Gokey, who competed on American Idol a few years back. Was not the ultimate winner, but in our eyes, he probably should have won. But he has gone into a very inspirational mission in his life to bring hope wherever he goes. And so he wrote a song called Hope in Front of Me. And as Lynn and I were talking about what we want to do for our community, we want to bring hope back to our children. So that song really unfolded. We reached out to Danny and his management people, and they said, yes, we're absolutely behind what you're doing. So Danny will come and perform for us at Faith City Church here in Titusville. That's on US 1. And he will give a concert that will be very uplifting, and hopefully we'll have a great attendance and a lot of support from the community. Saturday, we have the second part of our Celebration of Hope weekend, we're calling it, and that will be at our local YMCA. That is free of charge. And that's a family-friendly event where we'll have a lot of vendors participating. We have informational folks that will be there. Dr. Joseph will address the audience with some information that we're really looking forward to because we do want to spread this information. We'll have singers and dancers, mostly young people themselves, so that this is really a community event. And we, in particular, are thrilled because the Y came up with an idea to have an obstacle course that we're calling a confidence course. so that kids can come, in particular our teens, can come and run through this confidence course, because that's what they need. They need that foundation of confidence and hope. So we hope that the 2-day event will not only raise the awareness of the issues that we are trying to put forward, but will be an entertainment piece, which everyone always likes. And we'll get more and more people involved in our efforts here in North Brevard.
Great. And so people can go to eventbrite.com to get tickets.
Well, it's actually easiest to go to our own website,
Okay.
which is hannahs-heroes.org. And then there is actually a videotape that I encourage folks to watch about Danny and his story of hope. And there is a link there. They will go to the Eventbrite page to purchase their tickets.
Great. Well, that's the Celebration of Hope weekend, a fantastic concert Friday night, everything at the Y on Saturday. We'll be there. Space Coast State is looking forward to that.